Got drinks, got smoke, got weed, got all the girls, got everything we need. And I see them all, but who brought the fat girl? Drink another, smoke another, get retarded. I know this where the party is, so get this bitch started. And if you want some liquor, girl, you can go and lick a girl. Get in it, pop till like 6 in the morning. Come break it down.
Wow.
More. I know you were the type of dude to leave the long ass hairs, the butt hairs on the soap. Go shower.
Bro, the long butt hair.
You gotta reset it. You gotta reset it. And after a certain age,
bro.
You got some
after
hairy
a certain
cheeks?
age, there's a certain time where you could still have bad grooming standards, but after a certain age, it's not acceptable anymore.
What age was that? What's
Like
the
13, dude. 13.
13. I was thinking
13,
older, but
14.
okay.
13, 14, because you start, dude, then people target you at school. It's like, hey, se voy a pesta, homie.
Grooming standards, eh? You gotta stay
All
clean.
right. All right, we're back, fellas. We're back. We went on a 2-week hiatus. Ivan fucking
Puro
left us.
pichi hiatus.
For real. Estuvo con las vacaciones, homie.
This is the podcast with the more hiatus I've seen.
That's it. Hey, life's stress
dude.
sometimes, carnal.
Yeah.
Ivan went
Straight
to
up.
fucking Eureka.
That's right. You're in California, baby, up north.
Damn.
North side for a month.
No.
El norte, that's right, homie, that's right.
Norteño, bro. Órale, that.
That's right.
Gotta watch out wearing the blue up here, man.
Uh-huh.
What's the color up here? It's red, right?
It's red.
Red. No, Norteños is
They
red.
get it. They get it from the Chicano, that labor union for the farmers.
Really?
That's their flag. Yeah, that's why they do it. Because there's a lot of
okay.
farmers up there, up north in Fresno area and stuff. There's a lot of great farmers. Actually, all the fileros that would go to Fresno up north, they would bring them over here, and those were the migrants, you know.
Oh,
So basically, they were making programs for migrant families that would travel. So then they would tell you, "Hey, go to this city, go up north," and they would tell all the families. All the families would go. And then they would go like to the Fresno area, and then when there was like cosecha over here in the Imperial Valley, well, they would send a bunch of families. They're called migrant students. They're migrant programs, and so the flag they have is the red Aztlan flag, and it has the Mexican eagle on it, but it's red. It's like a Mexican kind of like squared.
is that the one that
pixelated.
Cesar Chavez flew? That the same one or is it a different one?
So yeah. So that's what the flag that the gangsters fly to.
Speaking of Cesar Chavez, did you see that video where he called people wetbacks?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. What actually the biggest misconception that we had, and that they told us in the Chicano studies class, was that he was actually pretty like racist towards his own kind, you know, if you didn't have papers, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
But how
If you don't
is
have
he
papers,
fighting?
because-
But my thing is, how is he fighting for migrant workers if fucking like 75% of them didn't have papers?
Migrant workers that are getting government contracts is what he's saying, you know, or like, you know how the government grants you an ability to come work over here.
Yeah, of course.
Well, a lot of people didn't have that, and they were his belief is that if they weren't in the union,
Oh, okay.
they were messing up the union people because they were defeating the purpose of the union because you're working for less.
Oh, okay. I didn't know all that.
You know?
See, they didn't. teach
Yeah.
us that.
He didn't like that. He didn't like that stuff, and he advocated for.
Yeah, they
It's
didn't.
because
teach
what's
us all that.
what happens a lot of time, and especially in in the Mexican American community, we have that mentality that you have to be so grateful to have a job that sometimes we let employers, the supervisors treat us like shit a little bit, because we're so afraid of not, especially back in opportunities back home in the valley. There's not a lot, so a lot of folks, they take a lot of shit, a lot of bullshit that they shouldn't really have to. And I've certainly fallen in that situation where that happened in the union when we were doing the solar fields. There was a lot of people from Mexicali. They were getting they were calling them CE, construction electricians. They weren't in the union, but they were kind of like kind of swept under the rug. Kind of, they weren't supposed to have these type of, and the other unions across the United States, they don't have construction electricians. Everybody goes through the program, apprenticeship, becomes a journeyman electrician, and a lot of times they were coming from, they had that mentality of working, and they would kill a job that supposed to last 2 years. They'd kill in a year. and we be unemployed.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
that's one thing
Exactly.
that the union stressed. Like, hey, work hard, but don't fucking don't finish. Finish the work. We need work.
Don't
So I
don't
hear
overkill
I
yourself.
hear Cesar Chavez on what he was talking about that.
Yeah, and
It's-
that's what it is. It's like he strongly opposed undocumented workers because they
Mhm.
drove the cost down of what it took to do all of the work. It's a hard demanding labor.
Oh
So
yeah.
I didn't necessarily not like I hate my I don't know. And we're living in the age of misinformation, dude. Right now
People are
with
so uneducated,
AI.
man. So there's ignorance
Yeah.
all over the place. It's crazy.
But I mean, it's makes education, but they also didn't teach me that in school. They
Oh
kind of
no,
they
no,
kind of
no,
taught
no,
you
no.
the what he did, but they didn't say like what he was against. Also, it was just mostly all positives that you saw from school about Cesar Chavez.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
So
I get the fact that he's trying to, because if you think about it, what were they paying Fileros? They were paying them shit. So he's trying to organize and get them so they can get more benefits. They can get a higher wage. But a lot of times, that's when he was talking about wetbacks coming over here, and like Danny said, driving the labor costs down, and they were paying them fucking bullshit for hard ass work. I mean, my respect to people who actually work in the field, and that's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
Of course. No, I get it. But what I'm saying is, in school, when I was in school about Cesar Chavez, they only taught you everything he was fighting for, but they didn't teach you what exactly he was doing with the other side.
You know what it is?
Training. Go
What
ahead.
are they teaching at school? Really, they're teaching history that only benefits certain people, or the only certain truths. That's why we got to educate ourselves and do our own research. Because basically, when you're going to school, what are they? They're how can I say? They're basically building us to become workers, like not factory workers, but just to drive the economy. So what are they going to teach you? The basic, sometimes lies. Who knows what the truth is?
Yeah. 9 to 5.
And dude, I'm trying to find where it was saying I have to pay for the for the article, but he was in a cult.
Who?
He
Cesar
was
Chavez?
he was in like he was in like he had some religious ties to some weird religion, dude.
Really?
And I found the article. I can't seem to find it right now, but yeah, he was involved in some weird cultish thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Cultish.
Because there's myths around it that he was turning into the union into a cult. You
Really?
know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
more
There's some pretty he was there's some stuff out there that says he was pretty extremist.
Mhm.
But I think one of the tactics of government agencies or people or the problems with labor unions is that you never know who is disarming or if they're trying to disarm the union within by saying that this person is this, by saying it's like the CIA would do. They would spread out rumors that someone was working with the cops, but they weren't working with the cops. So that people
There's a
around
lot
them
of like hip
would
hop
get
artists
fucked.
that they say that shit, no?
Yeah, but they blame you that they put it on you that they're working with the cops, but you never work with the cops to begin with. So they make you a person that's unreliable
Yeah.
because they can't get you on their side.
Yeah.
So a lot of that was going on, and that has been going on. So I don't know what's true and what's not.
Yeah, because
Right.
I just saw something on Sexy Red. I think it said that she was like a CIA informant since like
Oh, yeah.
2019 or something.
What?
I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
how true it is or what, but like that's crazy.
Yeah. So there's an intelligence. There's a guy who does intelligence and cybersecurity, and he says that in fact, that there are people who are within. I mean, look, 6ix9ine is a prime example. Look at how much
Yeah.
crazy stuff that he was doing, and he never
Mhm.
got caught for anything. He was like, who would be? He was. There were times where they had guns in New York and stuff like that, and a lot of incriminating stuff. And nobody ever asked, like, hey, why isn't this guy going to jail, or why isn't this high-profile celebrity that the cops obviously know what he's doing? He's in the limelight. It's really hard to be in the limelight and hide your illegal activities
Yeah.
without someone knowing what you're doing, because you're a fan. You have fans, and your fans want to know where you're at, what you're doing. And so he was working with the cops the whole time.
But he was.
They're not. It's not to say that he was put there by the cops, but it's like, hey,
Yep.
you did something wrong, or you were fucking around, and
Yeah, we're gonna
you
use
found out. So
No.
either you work with us, or you go down.
Yeah.
So they're selling their soul to the devil.
Mm.
Police devil or what?
Yeah, I mean, shit
I mean, so it sounds like they're getting
happens
protection,
so
you know,
much.
but eventually they
Happens a
like,
lot.
yeah, look at Dickie Diddy, you know, in top of the world, and now he's in prison, you know.
There's this guy on Soft White Underbelly.
Mm-hmm.
He had just he was part of he was a sureño. He was
Yeah.
a sureño gang member, and he killed several people. This guy's a murderer, and he got granted. For snitching. He got granted a what is it? The witness protection program.
Yeah.
A fucking sick bastard who obviously did a lot of crimes. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
you
happened
see,
a lot
you
of
see a
shit
lot
in
of
in
see
the
a lot of
mob
government
days, too,
officials
bro.
and police working with criminals, you know, to get what they want. Obviously, you know, and then once they get what they want, you know, obviously they throw you away. But so remember, well, in during World War II, remember that they were bringing the Nazis, the scientists, to help our technology.
Yeah.
And I mean, they
Yeah.
committed war crimes, but you know, we kind of looked
Yeah.
to the blind eye because we wanted to beat the
Mhm.
Russians. You know, wanted to beat them to
Mhm.
space and nuclear technology and all that shit. So it's happened before, turning a blind eye.
Dang. The eagle. Call it. Shout out to Oscar.
Big salute.
Podcast 2 weeks ago. It was really good. We had a really good time with him. I know the sound was a little off. We were having some sound issues, but I did the best, you know, to get that podcast out there. I didn't want to trash it, but we'll have him back on someday for second round.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. He's always a good guest. Definitely.
For sure. And trying to have some more artists on
That's
here.
right.
You know, local artists and
Or we should
pretty
have
much
some
anybody.
some of our folks too, you know, talk about themselves and
Yeah,
they want
if
to,
any
you know.
local artists, you know, want to reach out to us, you know, they can hit me up on the Instagram. We'll talk about it, see what we can do.
Yeah,
Get
what's
you
your
on
IG,
here.
bro? Spit it out.
see if
Three
you don't
Brothers-
smell.
Three Brothers Cast on Instagram.
What did you say?
I don't know what he's talking
I said
brothers.
just as long as they don't smell.
Oh, okay, yeah. If you know hygiene, much appreciated. You know, hygiene after 13, you know, much appreciated, as Daniel said.
That's what they call it. But you know, we didn't do 2 podcasts because my brother went out to Eureka. That's where he's at right now. What the hell you doing in Eureka, bro?
Well, you know, my wife is a nurse, and she decided to travel. I mean, you know, we were in Vegas. You know, miss you guys obviously, but it's the first time she's traveling as a nurse, so she was really scared and you know, kind of hesitant to do it. It's like, you know what? And I was like, fuck it. You know, I've been in the military, you know, so I've been away from family and I know what that is. You know, I know I've dealt with it before, so you know, I'm used to it. But she, you know, she gets a little homesick. You know, she misses her family, which I get. She's never done before in this type of fashion. So, you know, I encouraged her, and we came. You know, we've been here a couple weeks so far. We're gonna finish out the month here, and then go back. You know, back home, and then get started from there. You know, finish. I should be, you know, certified as a personal trainer, and then, you know, on the road to become a registered dietitian, as my wife corrected me. So, but yeah, we're just here. The weather's great. It's rainy, you know, sun comes out every now and then, but it's great. The weather's fresh, you know. It's the air is just it's different. It's, you know, it's nice to take a walk. You know? Oh yeah, fresh air in the valley. You know, yeah, you taste it too. You know, no chick heads, no crack heads. Oh, I said there's some crack heads. You know, there's a lot. There's a lot of junkies out
Hey,
here,
man.
Yeah,
that's what I've seen. Yeah, a lot of.
Isn't that where that mountain is? That what was it called, Daniel? That documentary?
Murder Mountain?
Murder Mountain.
Well, it's around. I mean, it's Humboldt County, so it's around here. It has to be around
okay,
here. Yeah, it's in. We're in Humboldt County, so yeah.
Mendocino area.
You know, there's a lot of Mexicans, a lot of raza out here. A lot of little food trucks, Mexican food trucks. You know,
Cool,
Mexican
representing.
restaurants. Yeah, representing. You know, up here.
Some good eats.
What is
Yeah,
it like?
yeah.
The food?
The food, you know, went to a couple pizza places. We haven't, you know, we don't eat it out a lot as it is, but we're trying to enjoy as much as we can. Went to some pizza. I went to a pizza place. It was really good. Shout out to Baby's Pizza. And
pizza.
you had that old school, you know, Pizza Hut feel. You know, those red, dark red, clear glasses. And those little salad
the
plates and a little salad bar. You know, and it was cool.
That's
But
what's up.
but yeah,
I know you don't know much about traveling nurses. Maybe just what she tells you, but like, what's so special about traveling nurse? Like, what's the pros or the cons of doing that?
Where do they work? What
Is it a personal thing, like to do that to help out somebody else, or is it like I get paid more? There's benefits to it.
There's certain incentives. You know, there's obviously, you know, they do pay you more depending where you go. They'll give you a free room and board. They give you meal stipends. Depends how you ask. Depends on the company as well. There's a lot
Yeah.
of travel companies that have different rules and whatnot. There's she actually told me a story about a coworker of hers that she sleeps in her car, I guess, during the week for like 5 days. And then she showers at Planet Fitness and she
Hell
sleeps in her
yeah.
car. And then for like 3 days when she's off, she'll get a hotel room. And that's when she gets, I guess, true rest or whatnot. But that's
What?
Jeez, that's wild.
yeah. I mean, but she doesn't. But not everybody knows, the system. You have to, like I said, every company. I think she just travels on her own, though. I don't think she travels with a company. She just,
Oh, okay.
took a job over here. But they usually know, from what I've seen, they just, they put you up in we're in an apartment right now. It's furnished. They'll put you in a hotel too and stuff. So it depends. She will, she didn't really like her where she's working now. She was working at a skilled nursing facility in Vegas, and
Yeah.
she wants to, kind of just do more home health and travel. We don't have any kids yet, so we might as well
Home
do it
health.
now. Yeah, we might be going to
That's good.
San Diego soon, or who knows? Sky's the limit. But we'll see. Since the baby's coming soon, so we have to put those plans on hold. But baby
Yeah,
first.
definitely. Need a babysitter.
That's right. That's right.
How Daniel?
Oh, that's true, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Gonna pop out, huh?
Gotta make an agenda, gotta make plans, and gotta make activities. Oh no, that's later on. That's with Jude.
Which I know Yvonne wanted to talk about. I don't know, Daniel. I think you didn't watch the UFC yesterday. Probably not.
No, I didn't.
Dang.
I don't.
Missing
I mean,
out, dude.
I could. But I don't have. Can you watch it on the Zone? Do you guys
No.
watch it through the Zone?
No, it's
No.
we watch it on. Why you? I
Yeah,
watch it on.
we're not gonna mention how we watch it, but we
Yeah.
watch it.
We watch it in a certain manner, but no.
a certain manner.
On ESPN Plus, we watch the prelims on ESPN Plus. We'll say that.
Yeah, we watched
Yeah.
the prelims on ESPN Plus.
That's right.
Yeah.
But Trump was on there. Everybody yells when he walks in there. I mean, I know Yvonne understands, but I don't understand all the glory. I mean, he's a president. I don't know why people get so excited. He's another dude to me. I mean,
He's a symbol. He's
Yeah.
a symbol for a lot of people.
I think he's because he's a symbol for a time. Remember before we're all COVID. Obviously, COVID happened, and now it's coming out that all that shit was bullshit. All the staying at home, everything's coming out. So I think we're at a crossroads where people are just tired of that bullshit. I don't know if you heard, but the word, I guess, retard came back. I guess you're allowed to say it or whatever. Make talk shit, not make fun of obviously people that are in that condition. No, but we used to fuck around and use it as a joke.
yeah, back then.
So I guess the woke thing is dying down. So people are sensing it, and it's not to thank him for doing that, but he's part of it, So it's kind of, I guess, to showing change that we're going for the better, at least from what I've seen.
Yeah.
It seems.
What do you think, Daniel?
I don't know. Okay. It's hard to believe anything anymore. I think.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that too.
I think that it's always the same side to the same coin, continuously. And I don't know. I think I've been conditioned I've conditioned myself to always be weary of anybody claiming to be a good guy, because they're always all claiming to be the best,
Yeah.
Right.
And at the end of the day, so I think I'll just wait to have an opinion,
Yeah, just
because
like
I haven't seen enough. I haven't seen enough.
Yeah.
And no one, don't get
That's
me
true.
wrong. I don't, he's a politician at the end of the day.
At the
At
end
the
of
end
the
of the
day,
day, all we have is our family. Now we can do is take care of each other. He's a politician. He's gonna get his for his buddies. I mean, it's the cycle. I mean, that's what it is. I'm not saying he's a great savior. He's not. Obviously he's fucked up. Nobody's perfect. I don't even know if any one person should actually have that job. So it's so fucking hard.
Yeah.
But I mean, for what I've seen, it's there's negatives and
Hey.
positives, but that's just politics. That's politicians. They're not gonna, I mean, come on.
I just don't trust. I don't trust, and I feel weary about what's going on in Israel.
Yeah,
And anybody working with
that's a
Israel,
whole, yeah,
you know? And
you're
how
right.
I didn't know
Mhm.
know how bad it was until I started hearing about these settlers.
Mhm.
How they're modern day settlers, and they're
Yeah, they're
paying
terrorists.
people-
They were terrorists. Yeah.
No, but like now they're
Which ones?
paying you to go settle down. Like let's say that
Oh.
America was paying back in the day
Mm-hmm.
Dutch settlers to go cattle ranch in Texas
Mhm.
because they didn't have any control of that area, right? So
right.
then there's Jews that are settling in these areas that they claim is their holy land.
Yeah, they're taking
And
homes for Palestinians
yeah,
away.
and
Yeah,
they're
I heard of stories.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they're paying people from there's
Oh, I
people
don't
from
know.
New York out there.
I didn't know they were paying them. I
Yeah,
thought they were
me
just
neither.
people that are already there. Wow,
No. People that have
that's
never
crazy.
lived there are going there and taking people's homes
No, yeah,
because
that's fucking
they're
insane, bro.
settlers.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I didn't because we were watching, and it was crazy because we were watching this show Beto called Mo.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mo, it's about a
Mhm.
Palestinian
Mm.
who is trying to get over to his. It's like a modern day take on a immigrant, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So he ends up going back to his
Sorry.
land in Palestine, which is right now is going through conflict, right? And he gets over there and he says that, and it was cool. Listen, it could be propaganda from both sides, but at the end of the day, there's a human aspect to it, and
Yeah.
um there's always a way to do things without having to kill each other, and those things are evil. And if you practice settlers or taking land from other people, it's bad all around, you know.
Oh
Mhm.
But
yeah.
um he gets to the land, and he can't the family can't farm their olives and make their olive
Mhm.
oil because they have to get permits, they have to go through, well, who is ever in the government, and who's giving the government? Well, the Israelis are giving the government. So are they gonna give them the permits? No, they're gonna make their life as hard as possible so that they can leave. They can
Mm-hmm.
all leave,
Yeah.
which is
Right.
what they were doing in Gaza. They wanted them to leave. If they didn't leave, they were gonna get bombed. But how the fuck are people gonna leave if that's their house?
Yeah.
Bro,
That's their homeland. That's where they
his
were born.
his yeah, his grandfather played at this area. For your grandfather to play at an area and for all your tias and uncles to be in the land, that
Mm-hmm.
requires a lot of time. If just one generation of us are living in this house, of this new house, I was thinking like, damn, dude, what would I do? I asked Beto, what would you do, dude? If like, oh, because it shows they're trying to get the olives right. They finally, I guess they got permission. I don't know what's going on, but they're trying to get the olives down because they want to make the olive oil.
Yeah.
And so there's these settlers that come in, they're just chopping the tree down. And they're English speaking individuals, some of them, but they're
Mm-hmm.
chopping the Palestinians tree down, nomás para hacer la pinche maldad.
Yeah. Which is the olive
Yeah.
And
trees that they make money
and
off of.
right by him is an Israeli soldier holding the gun. Like if you do anything to them, that gives you an excuse to kill them, because it's like trying to aggravate you so that I can kill you.
Yeah.
You know?
Basically, they're just fucking with their land and all that shit to try to get them to leave. That's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I might get a little flack for this, but I don't get the whole why the Jewish people they were be able just to create their own state. I mean, I get the whole reference to the Bible and the religion and all that, but it's
There's
crazy.
people
It's
getting it.
basically just they decided to pick up. Obviously, well, I mean, there's they're being persecuted in Europe and all that. They wanted to find their whole, but they're like they're the only people that have their own, like, I guess, nationality and religion. It's weird. I don't I don't get.
But
Yeah.
they were exiled from a lot of places.
Right. Right. I
Bro,
mean,
why? You don't ask why though.
Why?
I mean, why?
And
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
because
why?
they live
Why?
by certain rules. They
Yeah,
live
I
by
guess
certain rules,
we can see little
and they
hints
have
here,
certain
right?
rules that their
Mhm.
religion lets them do, and sometimes those rules help them profit off of other people.
Gotcha.
It's like something that I had read about their religion is that they could let borrow a non-Jewish person and have interest on them, but they
Mhm.
can't do it to themselves or another Jewish person.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
that's just one, and that's just something that I read for a fact. And other than that, it's a little bit weird to talk about it, but damn, it just
Right.
shows you, it just shows you that that's why they are in a group. That's why they succeed in groups.
Mhm.
Yeah. Plus, well, off topic, I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I've been going through some stuff at work. we're not gonna get too much into details, but I saw a video today. Yeah, it was this morning actually that kind of opened my eyes. I already felt that way, but it kind of opened my eyes. It was, I mean, first off, I don't know if it's true, right? Everything you see on Instagram, you don't know if it's true, but the way the video was laid out gave like a good like story at the end. I guess the dude was a cop. He was like a young detective, you know. He had just come up from patrolling, being a detective. He went out to drink with the homies at night. You know, probably late to like 2 in the morning. Um, and then he went home, took a nap for a couple hours, and then in the morning he had to go to work, so he drove to the station. Right. Well, he got into a little fender bender, and he said the CHP got there. You know, and they saw his eyes were red, and he was like, "Well, I just woke up. You know, I did party last night, but I just woke up, drove in my car, and well, they gave him a breathalyzer test, and he blew past the legal limit barely, kind of like I did a long time ago, and you know, he got suspended. He got put on, you know, desk duty. And at that point, like, he realized, like, you know, as much as you think you're an asset to somebody, one little mistake in your life can cost you your job, your opportunities, you know? So he
Yep.
said, so I just fucking opened up a side business with ATMs, you know, putting ATMs in different places, investing in that. And I made enough money, you know, while these people were talking about we can fire you, you know, for this and blah 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 and all this. He's like, I just did my own thing on the side, and then when I made enough money, I gave my 2 weeks notice and I was out of there, you know, and that kind of opened my eyes in a sense to like, you know, you give so much to your work or a company, and you can easily get kicked out, right? So you
Fuck
got to
yeah.
have, you know, the right thing is to have other options of your personal stuff that you do at home, you know, whatever it can be, you know, selling shoes, you know, Ivan's into fitness. He's going for his fitness thing because that's what he loves, you know. They can't fire you from doing your own thing, you know. They can fire
Mm.
you from a company, from whatever. And I really took it hard, you know. I took it personal, you know, because it felt personal. Um, Although they can
Fuck
say
yeah.
otherwise, it did feel
Mhm.
very personal. I got down in myself, you know. I was like, you know, I'm doing everything so good for so long, and then all of a sudden, one mistake, and it feels like you're benched. You know, like that's it, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you're not that valuable to us because you made a mistake, and that's the way it felt, and it really brought me down. And I just wanted to share that because I know there's probably a lot of people going through that stuff. You know, but at the end of the day, just look out for you. You know, there's other options out there. There's other places, and that's I think what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep my options open, looking elsewhere, something that I love. You know, I love podcasting, so this keeps me going. Um, you know, but of course we don't make no profit off of this. But you know, just whatever it is, you know, and it could
Not yet.
be
Don't trip.
yeah, it could be a different job. You know, it could be maybe working at a casino here, or whatever it is. You know, Vegas has a lot of options for me too. So you know, might be something out there that I love even more than this. You know, but
There's
at the
this
end, yeah,
crazy
go ahead.
there's this crazy story that they used to tell us that of it would there was it was at a youth convention, and the guy's like, oh no, this was at the
This
rehab.
guy. Oh,
It's at the
Jesus.
rehab, dude.
That's
Yeah.
that's the
It's
opposite
at
of
the
the
me.
rehab.
opposite
Shout out to rehab.
Shout out to
and
Lizzie.
Yeah.
and the guy would say, he would say, you know, sometimes we got this fucking whole beat down bear that we've been holding on to. It's a little stuffed animal, and it's something that we've held on to a lot of for a long time because we're afraid to be without that stuffed animal. It causes us comfort. It brings us comfort. It's the same thing. It's the same smells, but it's all run down. And at some point, you got to get another one to comfort you. You know. Well,
Yeah.
he said the God has this big teddy bear behind in his hand, you know, and you don't want to let go of the other one. He can't give you the other one because then you can't hold all of them. And so
Yeah.
sometimes we just want to keep on holding out, you know, because of our comfort or not knowing about the unknown, you know, and uncertainty, especially in your case, you know. But at the end of the day, I feel that a company should never show your worth. Your worth has nothing to do with a company. That's a side
Yeah.
to them. You know, that has nothing to do on that you're a good person, that you're a good brother. You know, gonna be a good, great father. You know, that
Hmm.
has nothing to do with that. And at the end of the day, it's just a job. You know, it's
Yeah.
it is what it is. And you know, a lot of people have killed themselves over that kind of stuff, you know, because I
Yeah.
think that because they put so much emphasis and so much identity on that work. But that's not you. That's just your occupation because you have to survive. That has nothing to do with
Yeah.
you. Matter of fact, that's probably a fake persona that you wear to that workplace just so that you could get through and get your money. You know, it's not the real you.
Mhm.
So you can't even be mad because at the end of the day, it's the valuable human aspect in yourself that you are not irreplaceable. To
Yeah.
them, to the job that you're doing, you might be irreplaceable, but to Albert, the brother, the father, you know, the friend is not replaceable. He's irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So why focus on an opinion of someone who thinks that you're disposable just like the rest of them, you know, when you're not? You matter to a lot of people around you. You
Yeah.
matter to the people that don't get an incentive from you, you know? They get
Yeah.
an incentive from you. They have to treat you a certain way because they profit off of your health. And at the end of the day, this society too starts booting you to the side once you get to a certain age.
Yeah.
Once you've already stopped providing for them, you've seen like people like my mom, where in their cases, elders, seniors, since they have some seniors have too much money, then they can't get health benefits, and they're probably the ones that need it the most.
Yeah.
And what Social Security does is that they use up all that money from your retirement fund. When you don't have any more, then they start helping you, kind of
Mhm.
in a way stripping you of your assets that you've collected on your health when you've worked for them your entire life, and then they turn your back on you. So don't
Yeah.
forget, you know, don't
Yeah.
forget that part.
Yeah. I think, like you
And
said,
bro,
go ahead. Go ahead.
you know, we had a recent conversation, and I know that's what it was that you felt it, and that's why you were feeling down because you know it of course it's gonna feel personal. You know, it's a part of
Fuck
you. You know, you
yeah,
give your
dude.
your
Yeah.
all to it. I mean, but like I told you, you know, we're all, especially in the job place, everybody's looking, you know, to cover their own asses and not get fired. So you know, whatever in your situation, I mean, it's gonna be like that. And it's kind of a, you know, it hurts the ego, you know, and it does hurt. But you got to think about it. Hey, you know, what's more important? My dreams, you know, my what I love, my family. Because you know, we have to break that cycle, especially you know of not
Yeah.
being, you know, there or being overworked, like we, you know, we see in people's lives now. It's just it comes with the territory, but all you can do is, you know, hey, you know, you're worth it. Like we know we're worth it. So I think when you know you're a valuable employee, so you're not gonna have trouble getting another job at all, or changing, you know,
Yeah.
careers, or
At all,
at
at
all,
all.
because you're
That's the
you're you.
least
And that's
fucking
why you
worry.
shouldn't be people. You know, you know who the people that should worry? People will have no job ethic. You know,
Yeah.
no desire, you know, to keep working. But you have that, bro. So you have the desire to keep growing, you know, keep bettering your life. So you're fine, bro. You're all
And
set. But it does hurt.
don't
Yeah.
forget, for things to have to get built anew, it's gonna fall apart. It's a cycle that I
Hmm.
think we've all gone through, and it's a recurring cycle. And as you're going through it, you ask yourself, why? Where is this all going? And then all of a sudden, the pieces just start. As long as you continue doing your part and doing good, then
Mhm.
like there's no reason to fail all, you know, things aren't going to
Mhm.
go bad, you know. The same way for me, as long as I keep going to school, as long as I keep doing my homework, I might not get the A, but as long as I'm passing, it's good. As long as I tried my best and I know that I'm not dumb.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of variables that have to do with failure, and sometimes it's out of our hands, and it's just better to just let it fall apart and then continue going, because all of the good things in life come through suffering.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ suffered, you know.
Hmm.
Right now
Yeah.
is going to be Easter.
Mhm.
Jesus Christ suffered, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of suffering, you know, that you have to go through before you even get to that. You're
Yeah.
like, ah, shit, okay, it was terrible when I was making the switch from employment, but now that you're on the other side, it kind of gave through. Because if you think about it, that type of company that'll kind of reel you in with all these benefits, and then you give up
Right.
on your own thing,
Mhm.
and then kind of give you um a false sense of security, you know,
And then 20
and
years they'll
you've
tell you
been
to
so
fucking get
invested.
lost. Yeah.
Yeah, until you get invested and something happens, and then vale madre, dude.
And then you
Yeah,
fucking go ahead.
like Daniel said, I was carrying that bear right in front of me for too long, and
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
get caught in that cycle. 7 years is a long time. Even though it might not be long for a company because they give their awards out to people for 20 years, 30 years, but 7 years is a long time of your life,
Oh, it
dedicated to
is.
one thing.
Mhm.
And you know, I'm like Ivan said, I go to work 100%. So for whatever happened that this happened, it really hurt me. Like Ivan said, my ego,
yeah.
I got a little sad. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't say I got depressed, but my mind did think like, you know,
Of
all
course, you're
this,
human. Yeah.
yeah, like all this for that, and I was
Mhm.
just like, you
Actually,
know
some
what?
of the
Go
causes,
ahead.
some of the big causes for men in their own mental health has to do with employment, because it's your sense of providing. We're providers, so it has a lot to do with our mental health. So don't ever feel bad if you, it makes you feel bad, or it's normal, dude. If like uh from reading all these psychology books, it's very normal for a man to go through some really sad feelings at a point in time where there's uncertainty, especially in the place where you find yourself right now. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially
so
with the
it's all
kid on the
normal.
way. With the kid on the way, I think that makes it even more personal. And you're like,
Shit,
yeah, damn,
Shit.
shit, man.
you're gonna
They
take
could
food away from my
consider
kid's
this,
mouth. Yeah,
and they could consider this, but at the end of the day, it's really important we don't go into the victim mindset.
yeah,
Like, why
Mhm.
me? Why this? Why me? So, what am I gonna do and continue? Because you're not gonna change. It's like that's what they do, the chains of commands, so that there can be an inhumane contact, so that they don't feel empathy for you.
yeah,
That's the way these places are made up.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
yeah.
Come on.
Let's
And
take
you
a
know what, bro?
pause.
Like you said, you felt you felt sad, like this whole stop working and go back to school, and I'm on the Uber on the side and get
Yeah,
it's been a little struggle. It's been I'm used to going to work
yeah,
every day. I'm used to spending my time a
Yeah.
certain way, and now I just have time where I can actually work on myself and actually and when the baby comes, when your baby comes, I'm going to be more available to actually engage with her and be the best uncle that I could be.
yeah,
So and then with that, with you, with this whatever happens, I mean it's a like you said, benefit in disguise. And now
yeah,
I can, it's been an adjustment, but now I can slowly getting back into it, where I can have that confidence in myself to be, hey, well, I'm going to get something else, I have plans in the making, let's do it. You know what I mean?
yeah. Okay, all right, we're back. So yeah, like I also worried about you a bit, Ivan, because I know like you're so used to working, in the system, and then you just stopped working and now you're doing this from home. Does that
Right.
fuck with your head or anything, or is it because since you're doing something you love, it's kind of like it's all right, I'm okay with this?
You know what, it certainly has been a struggle, especially with the whole stigma of the male has to provide all the time, the male has to work all the
Yeah,
time. It does, like, it fucks with your ego. But I've learned that if I've had that supportive spouse, and if you have that, that's a great tool. Especially it's really helped me get to get through this, because you think about it and you're like, hey, should I be doing something else? It's always about,
yeah,
I can't always just, like, be cozy, like we always say. Like, I'm always thinking about, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Especially now that, that I'm not, working per se, a full time job. I mean, I'll get back to it, but it has
yeah,
been a definite adjustment. But like, training has helped me. That's what, that's my go to. So, but I'm doing, things. I'm trying to develop more of an agenda during the day, so I can make up that time that I'm not doing anything. So I'm not just sitting around, pondering my life. I can, I can read for a little bit, or I can play, PS4 for a little bit, or go work out, or
okay,
work on
back
my
to reading.
workouts.
I
And then
haven't read in so long.
you
I don't,
start
and I'm not a reader,
discovering
but go ahead, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
you start discovering a lot more, because now you're not focused on your whole life on providing, but you're finding what it is that you want to do and spend your time, because you have all this time that you didn't know you had.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of,
Yeah,
and I mean, it could go to the thoughts and the pondering, but an agenda is a good idea. Then you could start then you get the cool hobbies that you can get into that you weren't able to do, you know,
Yeah.
like right now I got the change the strings to my guitar. So when I'm
Mm.
doing school in my house, I do school and I play probably like a match or two of the video games, but then I also have the guitar to
Slap the
chill
bass
and
a
to
little bit.
get better at something small, little by little, and even a language,
Yeah, do something different because I'm
and
not
even a language. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm not a person that walks outside. I'm not, but I'm doing it now. Because it's good for
Yeah.
me, and then get some fresh air, and or I'm not much of a dog person, so I have walked Toby more. Just
Yeah.
little things like that, or reading. I'm not a reader, but I gotta try to do it eventually because reading's good. From having information,
Yeah,
it's good. It makes you powerful. You know what I mean? It makes you valuable.
Yeah. And like you said, the spouse portion of it is so important, man.
Oh yeah.
Because in scenarios like this, I think like, if I didn't have somebody telling me, hey, like, everything's gonna be okay. Like, don't worry about it. Whatever happens, we'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. I make money. Like, it's not a big deal. We'll take
Yeah.
care of it. And you can do something else. Like, it's fine. Like that right there in itself is so meaningful because if I didn't have that, I'd be all in my head. Like fucking like there's no way out. There's nothing. I'm
yeah.
I'm
You're
stuck alone in
ruined.
this place, and yeah, like I'm ruined. Like if they let me go, like I'm done. Like and I think it would just take guys in a worse place. And then to top it off, if he had a wife that was like what are you doing? You can't not work. Like you can't lose this opportunity. You have to do
You
this. You're providing.
you
You're the
could
money.
see.
Yeah, like
Right.
you're not gonna take care of us. Like that could I can see how that could just be worse for a guy.
Yeah,
You already got this situation you're dealing with, and then you go home thinking someone's gonna have your back, and then it's just more smashing you down. So like you said, I know Shade is that person for you.
Mm-hmm.
Dom is that person for me. Daniel, I'm sure you'll get that person, and
hey, I have
it's
like
just crazy.
luckily what happened for me is that I still have my mom, and she's still
Yeah,
as long as and my family. So
Yeah.
as long as I'm still healthy, I mean, as long as I'm doing good and I'm healthy, I have the support from my family, because
hmm
when I came back from Florida, I didn't have a job. There were scarce jobs in the valley, and then didn't have all I knew is that I could cook, and there wasn't anything above that. So I was
yeah,
just like, damn, school is probably ways away. But I started taking one class. I started filling up my day with more. I started going to the gym. I started getting serious about it, and then started doing things that I never thought about doing, and doing things that other successful people might do. Not all of them, because I don't give a shit, But
yeah,
at least like a good amount of those habits that I could use for myself. And was working shitty restaurant jobs with a lot of fucking bosses that didn't understand that their psychology of their workers really mattered for their
yeah. Of
business.
course. Yeah,
And I was fucking done with it, and then I was just like, all right, I'll go to school. I wasn't getting any money because I didn't have financial aid, so I had my mom to kind of support me and say, you know what, you're good as long as you get in a little bit of cash for but to get up to the next week, it's all good for now, you know, and
yeah,
so that has also been a blessing to not be totally catastrophic about
yeah,
my situation, because
yeah.
if you
Definitely.
have someone, if you don't have those people around you telling you that it's okay, like your whole world will turn into hell, and everything's gonna be crashing and burning, and then you go down that spiral more and more and more and more and more and more, when you could go up, 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 or down, 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 with your ideas or what you tell yourself,
Yeah, and that's what
There's a lot of
family's supposed. That's what family's there for, man. That's what family's
Mhm.
supposed to do. I'll always take care of you, Daniel. If you're going in a positive way, and you say, you know what, I need a little something for this, or I need a little something for that, or I just need you to be there or listen to me. Like that's what we're here for. That's
mm-hmm.
what it's supposed to be about. And there's some families out there that they don't do that, man. They're just so distant. They don't talk whatever, and sometimes it's not even a reason because somebody did something wrong. It's just because they're lost in their own world and they don't check up on their people. But it's good that we do this. Yvonne texts me every morning, I love you, hope you have a
Yeah,
great day. Like that's like
yeah,
that simple thing. When you look at it, you're like, ah, damn, fuck,
yeah.
I got someone there. No matter what happens, there's somebody there looking out for you, and that shit means a lot.
Well, we got to take care of each other, man. Because if we
Yeah.
don't, I mean, look at the world. The world is rough. It's a rough
Yeah.
place. So and then, so we and a lot of a lot of families don't have what we have. There's a lot of men out there who they have that job or they're stuck because they have to raise their kids, they have to pay those bills, they have to keep that. But we have that support. Even if if we didn't have our spouses, we would still have that family support within us.
Yeah.
So we're very blessed in that manner.
And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's better to make these changes now and make these abrupt changes now before you have
Mm.
another kid or two more kids
yeah.
where you have three kids, a whole family, and then the changes aren't that feasible or easily
Mhm.
attained. Right now you can make the changes and everything, and even then it's never the end. It's never the end until you die.
No.
That's the
Oh
end.
yeah.
That's
Always
the
some
end. Or you
fucking-
can't wipe your
something
own
to
ass.
stress about, huh?
Maybe once you can't wipe your own ass, dude, you start. All right, this is probably the start of the end, huh?
For real.
But as long as you could do those things, man,
Yeah.
and everything's good. And even if you have a family, you got to tell them, hey, there's gonna budget cuts this
Budget
year,
cuts, Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
There's-
and that's what's gonna have to be. That's part of being in a family is to put like in the trees in the forest where they send nutrients to the other trees that are sick or dying,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go to current events. I know I got one. We'll start with this one. Did you guys see that nightclub at the Dominican Republic where the roof fell in?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
a
was
couple of
about- I
baseball
actually
players
wrote it
died.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I've seen like 20 different videos, 20 different angles. Like I just been on it like
Really?
I only saw I only
Yeah,
saw two.
even like Don's been like, dude, what are you fascinated with that? I'm like, bro, a roof fell on people dancing like that. That shit should not happen, and it doesn't happen.
Ever.
And
Well, go,
yeah.
They don't have. I'm sure they don't have the best, building codes over there. You know, what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's
the best of concrete. You know what I mean?
yeah, and that's
But
what
go
I was telling you. That's what I was
But in the
telling
most
Shade,
popular one,
I mean, should they dumb? Go ahead, Dave.
in the most popular one, because it was pretty popular.
Yeah, no,
I
it
think it
was
was
pretty
old.
popular.
Was it old?
I don't know I don't know when the shit was built, but
Mm.
it was pretty old. But like I was telling Dom, like in countries like that, like their construction isn't fucking up to par. Even if it was up to par when they first built it, they don't maintain them. They don't do the checks that you're supposed to do. They just throw all kinds of shit on the roof. Fucking gallons of water, ACs, like all that shit shouldn't be up there. ACs, yeah, but gallons of water and who knows what they throw up there and all that shit. It's wild.
No, it's,
Yeah,
it's 'cause,
dude, and
well,
then-
they don't have like I said, their buildings. Like, it's not like here we have to get a contractor. You have to have licenses. Over there, they're fucking. You see the fucking guys when we go to Cancun, in Tulum. You see the guys on the side of the road. What do they call it? Albañiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Construction
just
workers and shit,
sleeping
I mean,
in the
just
construction
sleeping.
places.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
They're sleeping in
Yeah.
that bitch right there.
Yeah,
Just a little
around it, yeah,
tendido.
yeah.
You
So
can see their
it's-
clothes.
That's just crazy watching the videos and seeing like the dust is already falling. Like in some of the videos, you can see the dust falling. Like before,
And they were just sweeping it, huh?
Yeah, they were just sweeping it up like nothing, like it was a daily occurrence and shit. I'm like, bro, like what is going on here?
Can
You
we
gotta
get maintenance
Oh.
over here? Though, maintenance
what I
car or
told-
something?
Yeah.
That's what I told. I was talking to my mom about it. I was like, dude, it's a country where like métele dinero. Get as much money as
Yeah.
you can, and you don't think that it's gonna fucking fall. You don't think?
No,
Yeah.
like
They're not.
like a money laundering business to me.
Yeah,
Bro. Yeah, if you
that-
ask me that.
I wouldn't say money. I call it greed. You have
Yeah, from not.
these club owners that just fucking want all the money. Bring these artists, but they don't throw no money back into the building. or the
Yeah,
place.
into
They're
the
just
venue.
milking it for all they can, and shit like this happens, man. Well, it doesn't happen,
Well-
but it did happen.
Well, think of it like remember those fucking those antros in Mexicali, how they fucking
Yeah.
they burn down mysteriously and shit. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sure they
yeah.
don't build them with the fucking. They just build them up to. They do wash money in those fucking clubs, so they just build it
Yeah,
like they
no.
build it and then but they burn it down. This club lasted
Yeah.
forever, I guess. Or I don't know how long it lasted,
Yeah.
but
Well,
That's
I
crazy.
know it was a staple there. It wasn't like one of those clubs from Mexico.
it was like the
pops
forum
up
or
to-
what?
Yeah, it
It
pops
was
up
a
2 years. and it
tourist
disappears.
attraction.
Yeah, it
Oh.
was tourist. I think like 3 Americans were killed, if I'm not mistaken, something
Ooh.
like that. They were visiting the
Yeah.
place, but the senior got killed.
Mhm.
It's like 128. Like that's a big count. Like
Wait, let me see. I had wrote a
128
number
people
down.
died in that building from it falling
Jesus,
down.
128.
And
That's crazy.
if you look at the video, like it's all concrete too. The whole roof is concrete.
Oh,
And it wasn't like a 2-story building. It was like a 1-story building. It had like two
It was a
levels
salon.
inside.
It was like a
but
salon, wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, like a salon. I mean,
Yeah.
and our roofs built out of concrete in here in the U.S., like in a one-story building. I don't think so.
No, they have wood and
Yeah.
fucking no. I'm not sure what the exact material is on the top, but it's not concrete. Definitely no.
Yeah, so these, I mean, they had concrete. They had like 3 slabs. They showed a video where the guy was zooming in from the outside, like while the people were tearing apart. And you
Yeah.
can see the roof still hanging on. They had like 3 thick ass fucking slabs on it. So if you would have had 1, people might have survived. But 2 and 3,
Nah,
that's a
gonna
lot of
fucking
weight.
crush
coming out.
everybody, man.
Yeah, that's just fucking. Forget about the ACs. Fucking the concrete
Mhm.
itself would have took you out and lands on your head. But I don't know. I just thought that was wild.
Yeah,
Daniel, what you got?
Dude, I had a bunch of stuff. There was a helicopter. There was a helicopter carrying 6 people that crashed in New York.
Oh, that
And
Spanish,
there's
Spanish
been
family.
a lot of. I'm not sure.
Oh,
I'm not sure who it was,
been
but they crashed in the Hudson River and they all died.
Conspiracies, no?
I saw
No,
little.
but I don't know. There's been a lot
pieces
of plane crashes this year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And,
they were talking.
There's this intelligence, the same cybersecurity guy. He's like, I don't know if you guys have been watching the he did government contracts, but he's like, you won't be seeing me get on a plane for a while.
Jesus.
Damn.
I guess all
Meaning,
are we canceling
I don't
trips
know
then?
who these people are or how are they getting taken out, but
Yeah,
it's a bit weird.
it's a bit.
Yeah, it
it's
was a
questionable.
well, I don't know if it was a military aircraft, but the pilot was military. No.
No, he was a veteran. I guess he
Yeah,
he used to
ex-military,
fly
so-
for the military,
Okay.
but he was he was just doing his own contracting now or whatever.
Okay, doing his own thing on the side. Yeah.
Yeah, another job.
That's crazy. That is true though. There's so many of them going down. It's like that's too much already. Like
Who's
yeah.
on the planes?
Yeah.
Is this
Who's on the
lack of
plane?
training? You think it's lack of training or fucking?
Nah, I don't know. I
motherfuckers
think
drunk
that
and
it's,
shit.
there's
lack of hiring process.
there's a war going on. There's
Oh,
like
wow.
little wars going on, and I don't know. Cause look, let's say that you're trying to get a hit on somebody, a really high profile hit.
Mhm.
Maybe he's not high profile, but maybe he's like something
Somewhat
from a
important.
company,
Mhm.
from a company, someone you need to take out,
Mm.
and you know that they're taking a helicopter ride. There's a lot of equipment that maybe you could do something to it, and specific, and
Yeah.
still hide it as an accident.
Yeah.
And take out that person. Nobody cares about that person enough to say that, to connect them. I don't know. I'm paranoid.
Yeah, no,
Little
me
bit.
too. But the
Nah,
the
just
one
a
that
little.
baffles me was the one.
It's because we're pretty good. We're pretty good with the airplanes. How much technology there is. If you fucking fart, chances are the government knew. So he said, "Tira un pedo right now." The security is at an all-time
I don't
high.
want to
You
fart on
know?
the plane no more. Get scared now. God damn it. Thanks, Donnie. Thanks a lot.
No,
Bin
but the one
Laden.
that
What'd you
really
say about
baffles
the-
my mind was the
What?
the one in I think it was in Washington, where the plane was getting ready to land and the helicopter got in front of it. Like, bro, like you didn't see that big ass thing coming at you? Like,
No, it's not that. Come
It's-
on.
It's because I think
Oh, I know,
they move
exactly.
in such a certain way that there's no way like to, you know what I mean, like it takes too much
Pull
energy
back.
to move, like to fucking, you know what I mean, like it's not like we're riding a quad and shit and we're fucking just, you know, can turn real quick. Like it's not, you know, there's so much
yeah, but
force, I think,
what I'm
and-
saying is like I don't believe he had to turn real quick because
Mm,
if I'm in a quad and I see a car, I think
Right.
I'll be able to see that car coming from a mile. Well, especially when it's just us two, you know,
oh, okay.
and
No,
there's
you're
no
right.
nothing else in the area. And I look
Mhm.
to my left, I look to my right, and I see a car coming. I have time to stop, go left, maneuver,
Yeah.
but I'm just gonna keep driving straight until that car comes, and I'm just gonna hit it. Like I don't know. These
I
are
don't know,
big
bro.
objects in the air, you know. I don't know exactly. And then they
Trained
say like
professionals.
the communication was off, and then they try to blame it on Trump, which I don't know if it was
Oh,
anything to do with that because they said that he fired all the
take a
people.
shit in peace,
Yeah,
man. I'm telling
he
you.
fired all the people who are in charge of the fucking airline flights to go. You know,
Good.
Yeah, there's something that had to do with that.
yeah, they said something with that. So I mean, who knows in
Fucking
reality?
DEI hires, bro. I'm telling you.
But yeah, I'm just saying, it's not like we can get the pilot and test them for alcohol and shit. You know?
Can't ask him no more. Huh?
Yeah.
Another one was that Iran has accelerated 60% of enriched uranium in nuclear program. And Trump has said that if they don't stop, there will be a bombing.
There will be consequences.
But they don't
it
even
was
have
the
nuclear weapons,
same-
do they?
That's what I'm saying.
They
That's what I'm
don't.
saying.
They just
Here-
have-
it's
they
the
have-
age old.
That's what
The
I'm saying.
age old fucking lie. How many times have we been told that? Ya usen
Yeah.
otra la vez. You know?
I know.
Damn,
There's
bro.
nothing
No
over there. and
fucking
shit.
shit. Even if I don't know, Iran hasn't been a place
They're not
of,
even a threat,
of
bro.
a
I
lot
don't
of
know what the-
scholars and
Yeah.
you know, like a place that's booming. You know, well, because of how many times we've gone and destroyed it because of the chemical weapons that they supposedly,
Supposedly
hey,
have
they got
and
them
shit.
again. They got them again.
Where are they hiding these motherfuckers? And we go over to
Yeah.
destroy, and then they come out with it again. I'm like, God damn, you guys
Yeah,
are fast.
yeah, for real. I don't even think they have any. Well, maybe they do, but I don't know. I think it's just it
They
seems
do, but it's like a fucking little weenie sized fucking bomb and shit. Like, hey, bro.
like when they
Hey,
when
Danny,
they
have
say
you ever heard of the? That theory, the seven that they were going to cause the 7 nations? They were going to cause the supposedly that Israel they want to cause, you know, they're already fucking up Libya, like it's all, you know, Iraq is all tore up, you know, but
yeah,
they just need
yeah, it's all
Iran
tore up.
to destroy the whole fucking Middle East, like to keep it in
so that they can
in
take it
shambles.
over because they're
Yeah,
the
so
only
they take
ones.
it over. Yeah,
They're the only ones that are giving them a hard time. It's Iran, you know, with
Mhm.
with Palestine that they were telling them like, hey, you know, chill out
Yeah.
over there.
yeah.
Yeah. Why are we
crazy.
still in that era where people want to take shit over? Like, we don't have
It's
enough
all money,
land
bro.
in
It's
your
all
areas?
money and military
bro.
profit, bro.
It's terrible. Like, you got
Mhm.
enough land already. Like, just deal with what you got, and that's it. That's doable. Fuck.
I agreed, bro. I agreed to motherfucker.
Hey, wait till we
real.
get to space.
Oh yeah.
Wait till we
God.
get to space, dude.
Star Wars,
Wait
bro.
till we get to fucking
We-
fucking planets. I
Man, you
can
can really
I
be
can even
Chewbacca,
see
bro.
that. I
think
can
the
really see
aliens should
fucking
just-
planets of
The
enslaved
aliens should
people.
just shoot
Dude.
anybody that goes up there. Like, nah,
Think
you ain't
so?
coming
Like
up here.
fucking
boom.
Total Recall and shit.
Fucking enslaved people. I fucking yeah. I think humans
Yeah.
are pretty ugly. If we enslaved ourselves here, shit,
For real.
Sure.
we just fucking
Okay.
enslaved people in
Preach.
secret in planets.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ponte
What else you got,
bien.
Daniel?
Chingado.
You got one more?
I got okay. Let me see. Let me look at the good one.
Oh, good one.
There's
It's
two.
a happy story.
A
A happy story.
Pero
Oh,
no,
U.S.
no,
empl-
no,
negative
U.S.
stories,
employers.
Pero-
U.S. employers added 228,000 jobs. It's 140 more than expected.
Ooh, okay.
There you go.
Oh, that's a positive right there. There you go.
Yeah.
We got more
jobs.
Yeah,
jobs.
yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Well, what's the reason for it? Is there a reason?
No, dude, shit.
No.
Beyond me, man. Beyond me.
It's
Beyond
economics
me.
or what?
Economics is not my
Economics.
economics is not my forte.
You have
Well,
to listen
shit.
to
When
economics.
huevos are fucking $15, someone's got to go to work, right? So like, fuck it. The guy on the couch like, hey, get up, fool! You gotta go to work. You gotta buy some eggs and shit. So that could be an incentive. No,
To go to work? Well, yeah, to buy more than eggs.
because
Gotta pay your
unemployment is
rent.
up. So I'm figuring the lazy people got to work too now. I'm like, fuck.
No, there's always
Hey.
been employment, bro. But people started fucking doing their fucking. No, I don't want to go to work. It's COVID.
It's
and
a
shit. Not even
shift.
COVID no more and shit. The fuck. Go back to
That's
work.
what- well, that
It's
could
a
be
shift right now, I think.
That could be
Yeah.
it too. No, there were so many people that left from COVID and just really didn't go back, and then all of a sudden they're going back now because their money ran out. You know.
También.
But
Yeah.
new jobs are being created. AI. Although right now I think it's pretty good and it's open source. I think it might be what do you call it? Censored, because it's a
What?
pretty powerful tool. AI.
AI. Well, it
Yeah,
should be
and that's
censored.
gonna make
it's-
another.
Yeah. It's still in the
I
beginning.
personally, I don't
process,
think
too.
anything should be censored. I should be able to make any kind of wicked shit I want.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's my
Johnny,
personal
hateful.
political opinion.
We-
That's my because but
pinky in the
but-
brain or what?
That's my story.
But look, there is this pretty cool one of people of North Korea using AI profiles to collect salaries from remote jobs.
Oh,
so they had a AI getting these remote jobs, and then they would also be doing like espionage and intellectual theft. You know, stealing information from companies and stuff,
Yeah. See, so that's the
and
bad
ways in
part
which
of
they
it.
operate and running salaries too. Now,
Great. More
I
paranoia for
do
me.
think that okay, so last year or this year for the past year there have been seats of fake profiles that were being taken over at IBC that were being made,
fuck?
and they were cashing out federal aid.
Yeah, like fast food, financial aid and shit.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
you said
yeah,
last
and
time.
they were
The
making
fuck?
fake people. They were making fake people. Who knows where all this money went to? But there was all kinds of fake students, and I don't know how. I don't know
Fuck.
how. I don't know how far along you can do. But yeah,
Where's
there was,
fucking
there was,
Elon Musk and the Dodge program for fucking these people? What the
Sleeping,
fuck,
bro.
I don't know, it
bro?
might
Come
change, bro.
on.
It's because they have to develop programs and all that stuff.
Why-
So.
My thing is, why is
What?
Elon Musk always riding fucking Trump's coattail and shit? Fucking everywhere they go, he's with him and shit. Like it's fucking.
It's his
like,
homie,
get
his
bro.
fucking
bro.
home-
It's
his
fucking
homie,
number two
dude.
and shit.
Nah, by number two, fucking.
Oh, what?
Dude, it's the
Gotta do
what do
something.
they call it? It's the pipeline that it's either celebrities that go into the politics or wealthy corporate owners.
No, yeah. Come on, bro. He's trying to get his share too, bro. Come on.
Trying to get his shit.
That's right. He has more than an overshare, but it is.
He needs to go fix
That's-
his
that's
cars.
the
is what he
game,
needs
bro.
to do.
Cybertruck.
Get
Cybertruck.
these trucks to stop exploding everywhere.
For real. People stop lighting them on
And,
fire and shit. No respect.
Daniel, that's it. Or you got that last one? That was the last one.
UK government is developing a software that predicts murders using
what?
names, birth dates, ethnicity, and gender. Mm-hmm.
Ain't that stereotyping?
hell?
Fucking,
What
they
the
gotta
hell?
get all
Yeah,
that.
sir.
Sounds like
Right.
stereotyping to me.
Yes, sir. And they want to test
Stick
that.
to the Arabs
Dude,
and the fucking black community over there.
They wanna test it,
predict that
too.
every day, bro. What you talking about?
Yeah,
You got
you
no
do
system.
it yourself in your head, you racist bastard.
Yeah. I
Oh,
see
speaking of
somebody
that, I fucking I pulled over
Oh,
to the
yeah.
stoplight before I went to the gym, and there was some white people next to me in a Volvo, like an old school Volvo and shit. And they saw me, they fucking hired their windows, like it was blatantly obvious.
Nah.
Yeah, I was like-
yeah, what? It's
Yeah,
like, hey,
hired
I'm one
the
of
one.
you guys. I'm one of you guys.
Nah,
Hire the
I was
window and
pretty
lock
dark
the door.
there.
You can hear the door go.
No, I didn't hear the click, but yeah, they fucking. And then it was an older car, so the windows were going up all slow and shit. It was like bzzz, took forever.
We was looking at each other like,
Yeah.
damn, okay.
My mom would always do that when we crossing the border and the people come trying to sell something. She'd be like,
Yeah.
lock the
Ah,
door.
that's
and all
different,
that.
though.
Oh, come on,
I mean-
man, that looks bad, mom.
It's a little dicey.
Poor guys. Like I'm just trying to sell
Can't
you
take
some
no
churros
risk,
and
buddy.
shit.
No, hell no.
Yeah,
Especially
No, but I get it.
Petite Ana Silva.
but that's wild. How can they just create a thing? I mean, what do you tell somebody that's born and you got them and you're like, hey, you're gonna be a murderer, bro?
I'd say that's a terrible fucking software. I'd say fucking eat shit, dude. What the hell are
I
we
think
doing?
so,
What's
too.
wrong with you, man?
Bro,
AI is
why-
supposed to do something like that.
Dude, that's what they've been. They're used. They're
that's
man.
what they're
They
using
got
it?
some stuff. They're gonna
I'm
use
sure
that. I'm
that's-
pretty sure. No,
who's
I
sitting
don't
there
know.
like, let's put money together for this program so we can try to predict who's gonna be a murderer? Like, bro, we got other problems and shit.
Can we focus on something else here?
Trying to predict the next serial killer and shit. How about you
Oh.
catch him first and then fucking? It takes you 6 years to catch someone. Mhm.
Yeah, I got one for you.
dude.
Oh, go ahead.
They made they came out on Joe Rogan. They made those wolves, those old school.
Oh
wolves.
yeah, that's the
Oh,
next
darn,
one.
yeah, I
Yes,
saw
the one
that.
that I had the dire wolves, and they're
Dire Wolf. There you go. That's fucking crazy.
That's the one from that show, right? The
yeah,
big one
from,
that came out.
Game
in-
of Thrones. Yeah.
Yeah, those shits are fucking badass. But I mean, I don't want to see
They,
one walking
uh,
next to me.
that same company is trying to get money so they could de-extinct other animals too.
Yeah. The guy came out on
Don't
Joe
fucking
Rogan.
give me a
He was-
dino. If you see Jurassic Park, isn't that the
no,
theme?
shit, homie.
Isn't that they were
Yeah.
doing in Jurassic Park, man?
Yeah,
how
they're
that went.
Yeah.
Well, nah, but,
You fucking learn, huh?
No, that's what Joe Rogan said. He was fucking telling me, "Hey,
He's
you're
dead,
that guy
let
from
it
fucking
die."
from Jurassic Park." He's like, "Nah, we're more scientific and shit."
yeah.
That's,
They all
that's what they
say,
said too. Fucking yeah.
yeah. It's all
For real.
scientific,
It's all
and then
for-
they got the world.
They're
It's
talking
all
about,
for
hey,
the
what if this
animals.
fucking this oil guy from fucking Saudi Arabia wants to buy a fucking
A dire
fucking
wolf.
dire wolf and shit? Like, nah, we're not gonna sell it to him.
Yeah, right. Black market. Someone steals that shit. All of a sudden, it ends up in fucking India. Someone's backyard.
You're gonna have to bring back the dodo bird.
Yeah,
Big
that's
bird.
Why, that's why I told you today.
The fucking
Dodo
I
bird.
saw
Kiwi
the-
bird.
I saw the
Kiwi.
picture of the dogs too. They look pretty. I mean, they look dope. But I mean, there's a reason why the wolves aren't alive anymore, right?
Mhm.
Especially that big.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's
'Cause I
a
heard
good
they were-
it's a good opportunity. Hey, maybe some fucking important animal dies off, and we need
Well, from what I understand, they were talking about they're trying to bring back animals that'll actually help the ecosystems, not just bring back a fucking velociraptor up there that's gonna fucking eat everybody and shit.
Yeah.
There's a purpose to it.
Yeah.
But imagine if in the future, they could get a hold of this and they start fucking cloning these animals and putting them to fight some crazy ass fucking animals, dude.
The hell? You putting bets in Vegas or what? At the fucking Rally Ranch or what?
The Coliseum.
Damn, bro.
Fucking direwolf though. That's crazy,
right? Can we get a fucking
big? I heard like what is it like 6 foot long? It could grow up to like 6 feet long and like 200 pounds or something.
Yeah, they're fucking huge.
That's fucking huge.
That's crazy.
I don't want to see one of those, but I mean, I don't know. What else do you think will come next? What kind of animal?
Well, they're talking about woolly mammoths.
That could be useful to the ecosystem. Woolly mammoth. Fuck.
Yeah, they said. What did he say about woolly? God, I have to look back to it, but he said something about they create some kind. They help the ecosystem in some way. I forget to, and I don't want to squash
their shit.
Mess it up, but
yeah,
maybe
as long as they don't
them shitting on the floor everywhere.
Crazy. And we say we don't want to see no dinosaurs here.
No.
Imagine if we could see the buffaloes again in the Great Plains.
Imagine
buffalo.
They were talking about bringing back muskox. Remember the muskox?
Muskox.
I don't know that guy.
It's it looks like a fucking no, it's a bison. It's a bison, but it's like super hairy.
Oh yeah.
It has like big old horns, like the big old like ram horns.
Oh, but before you start talking about the direwolf, there's a documentary I saw on Netflix, I believe. It was about a serial killer that was killing I forgot what it was called. But the guy was killing like hookers, he was like taking them out on a date or whatever and killing them. And no, back then, now it's really different than it was back then. Back then they really looked at them like low in society, like we're not really.
They don't matter.
She could just be somewhere else. She could have gone somewhere else to another city. It wasn't a big deal. But when they started doing the investigation, because a different girl went missing, she kind of started the investigation again of all these girls that were missing. Because where she was supposedly missing, they went looking for her and they found bodies like fucking in the brush and shit. So they're like, "What the fuck?" And they kept finding more bodies in this fucking little bank, like a long ass bank. They kept finding more bodies lined up, like fucking appearing and shit. And they're like, "What the fuck?" Like, but we're not finding the girl we're looking for. But anyways, it took a long time to find him because the police station that was in that jurisdiction really didn't care, and they didn't want the FBI sticking their noses like in their department
on what they were already doing. On
the bullshit that they were doing.
Yeah.
So corrupt. So like when the FBI would go like, "Hey, we're going to help you with this," they'd be like, "No, we're good," and they would brush them off. So, and then like at the end, it showed that the captain and somebody else got arrested for like some illegal shit they were doing and shit. So they were all trying to hide that from, FBI, DEA, all that shit. But it was crazy because as soon as like those two guys got taken out, new person came in. And they fucking found the guy who did it like fucking 3 months later. Like that.
Oh, yeah, probably in cahoots or some shit.
Yeah. And it took like 6 years, bro. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like all these families and shit. Like it's a good documentary. I'll find out the name and I'll tell you. But it's just crazy, like how even the system that you think is there to back you up is just fucking bullshit.
Not at all.
Hell no, bro.
You can't trust nobody out here in these streets. It's tough.
So I tell you guys, keep your head on a swivel because you never know and shit. Don't trust nobody.
And I was telling Dom, if that was my daughter, trust me, I'd be out there every fucking day. I'd be looking myself, or I'd be knocking on doors, or I'd be in the police station. Like, get your shit together, bro. Drink your coffee and let's go. Whatever you gotta do. Oh, you gotta get out of here. I don't give a fuck. Let's go. I'm hopping in the car with you. Let's go. Look,
Yeah.
So it's sad to see all those girls that were missing for so long, and these dudes just weren't doing nothing about it and shit. Just fucking.
But I think there's more missing people that we know, or that we think of. Because just think about it. Go to the damn rest area. Go to the rest area. Have you seen me missing and shit?
Yeah.
All those fucking people. That's the one that just reported that we know. You know what I mean? Especially if you're driving up here, it was interesting. You see a lot of missing signs and shit, especially for Native American people.
Yeah.
Like you see a lot of missing like billboards and shit. It's crazy. Like driving up here.
Native
Yeah, it's
American
crazy
women,
because
right?
it's like a forest area too. Eureka.
Yeah,
it's
I
a
mean
big
they're
forest.
gonna fuck. You know,
Yeah.
you can disappear body here if you really wanted
Easy
to.
yeah, it's easy to
It's
find.
crazy, scary.
All right, Daniel, anything else? You good? He just not straight
Want
out the
to
gills.
disappear, dude. Want to disappear?
Disappear. Oh, pues.
Want to disappear
Houdini
like
over
a
here?
dire wolf or what?
Like a
I'll bring
diamond.
you back though, G. I'll bring you back.
Danny.
All right, Daniel, Ivan, it's always a pleasure.
Always.
Thank you guys for listening. But we are out.
I'll see you
Till
all next week.
time.
All right, love you guys.
Love you. Later.
Take care.
Got drinks, got smoke, got weed, got all the girls, got everything we need. And I see them all. But who brought the fat girl? Drink another, smoke another, get retarded. I know this where the party is, so get this bitch started. And if you want some liquor, girl, you can go and lick a girl. Get it poppin' till like 6 in the morning. Break it down.